do we have an appointed chair, or shall I chair today's discussion? No. Okay.
Actually, you haven't delegate, so
Okay. So I'll continue.
yes, yes.
I'll continue here. I think our team management seems to be a little bit more on track. Okay. I just say seems because I'm guessing. How do I make that guess? Because when we break out into discussions, there's fewer cases that need team management these days. Okay. So I'm guessing that team management is working. If you agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you think team management is still not perfect, give me a thumbs down. Yeah. Okay. 10, do you think so? Okay. Okay. Lilith thinks so. Okay. All right. All right. Guardian's not sure. Okay. All right. Oh, Nadine. Yes, Nadine. Okay. Tell us. Tell us, what do you see, Nadine?
Yes, I think actually it's improved, but the one that can be improved more is actually the follow up after the discussions, after the breakout room, actually, sir.
Hey, let's do this. Can I actually do this? Since you mentioned it, Nadine, can I appoint you to be our secretary? And can you follow up today? Yeah, because I'm going to admit one of my weaknesses. I'm not really that great at following up, and sometimes I forget. Like sometimes I forget what you told me your plan was last week that you would fix this week, right? So in those particular cases, that might not be good. Okay, so I need help. I need. We have what 11 smart minds here, so I can't be perfect. So I need somebody's to cover me on that one. All right. Now I'm just discussing my weakness so that in case you are good at follow up, then please help me with following up. Good mention. Okay, thank you, Nadine. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this. I'm looking at it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I thought it was empty. I was going to have a heart attack for a second here, but it's not. It's actually right underneath the stack. Okay, let's go ahead and begin, everyone. So, a few themes I want to repeat so that everyone's clear. One, engage, engage, engage. Engage so that you understand. When we talk about something and you see something that's not right, please feel that as motivation to actually say something. All right, don't be just a passive audience here. All right, that's number one. Number two, think about the principles of revenue and specifically about how partnerships actually add to the principle of revenue. All right. So, what does partnership do? Partnership optimizes the existing capacity that we have within our community. Okay. So, the way I want you to think about it in your mind is perhaps like this: each partnership that we have is like a container. Okay. It's like a jar, and that jar holds a certain amount of revenue per month. Okay. And our job here at Bukit Vista, if we want to have continuing partnerships with our partners, is to try to fill those jars as much as we can each month. Okay. So that is one way that we can improve the overall revenue performance of the entire company by doing a better job here. All right. The other way, of course, is to add more containers, add more jars into our existing network without losing or sacrificing our service to the existing containers. Okay. So that's how we grow revenue from a partnership point of view. So please kind of let that sink in for a second. So you know the strategical link between what you do, what this team does, and how it actually affects the company's performance. All right, if that's all clear, give me a thumbs up so that we can begin. If I need to repeat anything, just let me know and I'll be happy to clarify anything. Okay. All right, great. Let's go ahead and dive into the meeting. Okay. Once again, one more thing. I do intend eventually to delegate some of the chairmanship to other people who can step up. As part of that, I just want you, if you think you can lead, right, to think about a few things about what the chair actually does. One, you examine and cross examine each particular result by being curious, by being also not naive. That is a key point. You should not be naive, meaning if the result looks good, you should still actually ask, how did this result come about? What could be done better? And not just take even a positive result for face value. Drill, 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 drill deeper. Okay. And then the second thing, as a chair, you should probably think about is who is good at what? What is the specialty about each particular person? Okay. And then the last thing is, of course, unify the team and keep everyone accountable for what they are supposed to do. I would much rather have this happen. I would much rather us have unpleasant discussions during the meeting and for everybody to achieve their individual bonuses at the end of the month, rather than we have pleasant meetings here and then nobody achieves their bonus at the end of the month. Okay. All right. So that is essentially the conditions of chairing. And I see leadership, of course, in all of you here. That's why you guys are at Bukit Vista. So if that is clear about what is the scope and expectations of chairing, please give me a thumbs up so you understand what the chair's job should be in this particular team management. Okay. All right. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and begin. Thank you, everybody, for engaging. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at awareness. Awareness, is it Gani? Please tell us what the update is, Gani.
Okay, so the quick update from awareness is total in this month we got 640 page view, which is still far from the SLA 2,000 per month, but surprisingly we able to get 7 leads. So it is
Overachieved.
overachieve the SLA 5 leads a month. So this is the performance of last week.
Okay.
We only get the half of the page view, only to 200 around, and then we got 6 leads. So I don't know, some magic happened in the last week, so we got 6 leads each day. So but then so there is Google Ads and SEO improvement.
Okay. I'm going to reinterpret your results, Gani. I don't think it's magic. Okay. I think what's happening is something good is happening, and we need to understand what that is. Right. So it looks like to me that your final KPIs are successful. The end result of what you're supposed to deliver is actually going according to plan. And guess what? We have over a week left still before the end of the month. So we can probably overachieve even more. Right. So everybody, that's actually good news. So I like the people who gave a celebration sign, because that means we're doing something right. All right. Now, let's never settle in this particular case, because there's a good question, which is why? Why are we able to get more result with less activity? Okay. Do we know why at this point, Gani?
Okay, so my first hypothesis is through our two projects that currently Garrett working on, which is the Google Ads,
Okay.
and then the on-page SEO improvement. As you
Okay.
can see here, we start improve our SEO on-page start on 10 March,
Okay.
and then the last is 19 March, and then we running the second Google Ads experiment on this first beginning of the month, and then in the middle of the month. But we see on the 17th March there is like 6 leads just coming through like suddenly. So,
Understood.
so I think my hypothesis is both on the on-page SEO or on the Google Ads after we double the budget.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you, Gani, for explaining. Let's examine your hypothesis. If you believe Gani's hypothesis, give it a thumbs up. If you don't believe Gani's hypothesis, give it a thumbs down. Okay. 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 All right.
Sir,
Yes, Lilith.
yes, actually, I agree with Kani. I also discussed with Garrett previously that we have doubled the budget as we discussed. I think it's 2 weeks ago with
Mhm.
BI, and it's 400 right now compared to 182. So
Mhm.
it's kind of the reach itself is good. And what other thing that Gani haven't mentioned, I guess, like the target. Uh, it might be related to the SEO and also the feedback cycle from conversion, where I see in the new leads, the feeds of new leads, where they actually actively giving feedback to each other. Like the conversion team said that, oh, this kind of owner is like this one, where they find out about us and etc. and etc. So it's very helpful, I guess,
I
from my
understand.
analysis.
My question is this now, Lilith. Is there a guideline for cementing and making sure that this feedback cycle between the conversion and the awareness is happening forever, for continuously now?
Mm, I don't see the guideline yet, but I only see that kind of conversation happen in Slack. But
Okay.
I'll offer to Mascani for this one.
Okay, let's do this, everyone. Let's do this. Gani, we're not going to drill too far deep, but I do have a suggestion here. Gunny, can we prove that the leads that we got came from Google Ads? You are proving right now that awareness is coming from Google Ads.
Yep.
And Gareth, I noticed you thumbs up it. But awareness is not necessarily the result of the lead, right? Do we know that for a fact that the lead that we got came from Google Ads, Gunny?
The best answer is coming from conventional team, which is Kyla. So I need a pure report from her. Perhaps
Okay.
after this we can hiring.
Let's do this, everyone. I'm happy to say that this is actually a change, okay? But it's actually very, very important that we understand the why Gunny and not attribute it to magic, okay? Because if we attribute it to magic, then it's just luck. Okay, I don't want to be lucky. I don't want to be consistent. Okay, and that's what marketing should be. So this is what I advise you to do. Gunny, break out into the inspection today with Kyla, with Lewis, with the other members of the BI team. Try to ascertain if the hypothesis is correct. Does the collaboration between conversion and awareness improve the targeting? Does the targeting lead to actually leads rather than traffic, right? And if so, should we adjust the SLAs now to reflect that, right? Should we adjust that? Should we have higher expectations of how many leads we can get with lower amounts of traffic? Because that would be great too as well. And also investigate perhaps the influence of timing. And perhaps maybe now is a really rich timing and we can really amplify the budget by doubling it again and get double the leads again, okay? So please take those questions to the inspection and have your sub-discussion there, Gunny, okay?
Sure.
Okay, fantastic. All right, if you agree with that delegation, give me a thumbs up. If you think I missed something, give me a thumbs down. Okay, all right, very good. Gunny will go into inspection and test out the ideas, right, to see why he is getting the success that he's experiencing, okay? All right, let's go into the next side then, over to conversion. And thank you, Lewis, for your updates also from the business intelligence side. That was really good, so that was fast. Now, next, we're gonna go into conversion. Conversion, let's talk, all right. So everyone, in the guest squad, we had a revelation, everybody, right? A change in the KPIs. I think Bayu might have led this idea. In the guest squad, we discovered that the old KPI for conversion was not so good as a new KPI that we came up with. Okay, and I'll explain the difference. The old KPI was we took the number of deals that, or the number of bookings, and divided by the number of inquiries, okay, roughly speaking, to understand our conversion rate. The new KPI is we take the number of the value of all the bookings that we've succeeded in and divided by the potential of all the bookings had we successfully converted everything. Okay, does that make sense? So let's say we got $1,000 worth of potential inquiries. We only converted 100, so that would be a 10% conversion. But let's say we had 2 inquiries, right? One was worth 1,000 and one was worth $1. Okay, and we converted the one worth $1. So on the old KPI, we would, of course, converted 1 out of 2 inquiries and would look like we had a 50% conversion rate. On the new KPI, of course, it would only look like we had a 10% conversion rate, okay? So if you understand what I just said, give me a thumbs up. If you're not too sure, give me a thumbs down, okay? Okay, all right. Okay, right. So here's my question now to Bayou and BI. Should this apply to partnerships? Should, instead of looking at how many deals we convert, should we consider what is the value of each potential deal by identifying what is the category of the property, right? So let's say this. Let's say we convert a whole village of super beach villas in Bali, okay? And that's the only deal we convert. But we fail on the 5 other deals for guest houses and small properties, okay? Because the total value of that complex of beach villas would probably be a few $1 million a year. That is fantastic, okay? And losing the guest houses, the 10 or 5 other guest houses that we didn't convert is acceptable, actually, versus we get the 5 guest houses and we lose the gigantic deal there. Now, I'm not going to go too much into that, but I just want everybody to just be aware that this is a new idea, okay, that's coming around, and it could actually be more specifically relevant to achieving company goals, which is related to revenue and not necessarily the rate of conversion, okay? So once everybody has soaked that in, if you kind of understand that, give me a thumbs up, and then we will progress to maybe modify the KPIs in the future if necessary. Okay, so that's just awareness. If you understand what I just said, give me a thumbs up. If it's not clear, then talk to somebody who actually gave me a thumbs up. Okay, all right, let's go into this. Who's going to give me the report on this? Is this you, Nadine? Oh no, it's Kyla.
Yes, sir.
Oh wait, okay, it's
Oh,
Nadine. Or Kyla. I'm not sure. Is this Kyla's name there?
it's me actually, sir.
Okay, Nadine, please speak.
Okay, so regarding the feedbacks from the previous week, we had the Scrum. So we want to see that not only the percentage of the conversion, right, but what exactly the count. So we attach all the count and also the percentage. So some of the SLA, if we see the count is actually achieved, but the percentage is not achieved. But actually, this is improved a lot for this month compared to last month.
Okay.
In March, we have 4 MOU secured already. But if you can see, observing which campaign is actually working in this month is actually the digital marketing one. Yeah, the website one is really helping the performance of conversion, and still need improvement on the traditional marketing, which is online canvassing and offline canvassing.
Okay.
So offline canvassing has just been reactivated by Moayana, but
Excellent.
we just started to gather the leads, but still no results at the moment. Maybe we can see the result next week.
Okay.
And then for the maybe if you can scroll down, I just gonna give the down lagi Kak, tolong. Okay, about the quality of the property that we already secured the MOU, we have all of it apa namanya a high quality property based on a MQL score. So I attached the score.
Excellent.
And yes, that's pretty much it.
Okay,
At the
thank you,
moment.
Nadine. What does a full MQL score look like? What is 100? Is it out of 100? Is it out of 75? Is it out of 50? What's a full score for MQL?
30, sir.
30. Okay, so these are in the above the median. Okay, all right, good. Let's see. Nadine, this looks like you're progressing. So if you were to attribute, what is the core reason? Is it better inspection? Is it better adoption? Is it that you have better tools and practices that is leading to a higher amount of conversion?
It's a better adoption, sir, and also better performance from the upper funnel, which is or the website leads is really helping the conversions.
Okay, so what I see is this then. Essentially, you have a tool improvement because you're improving a process by which you cooperate with a different chapter, and you're getting your group to actually adopt the practices here even more. Okay, in this case, what can I do for you? What resource would I be able to offer in order for you to do even better?
Actually, there is one campaign that we need to improve, right? If we imagine that website is not working this month, is probably this SLL wouldn't be achieved as well if the traditional marketing is not really progressing. So I think I still need team management advice on the traditional marketing to actually putting resources based on the skill set.
Okay, excellent. Let's go have, this is also a positive information. So this is an enhancement meeting rather than a correction meeting, everyone. That's really, this makes me happy, by the way. So I'm happy to see that we're having more meetings that are enhancement meetings. How do we do something that we do well, even better, rather than fixing a problem that, we should be actually doing, okay? So Nadine, in this particular case, why don't you break out with Ara afterwards and ask for more headcount or more tools or whatever that you can do to put into the offline canvassing so that we can acquire more properties, okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. I think we have
I'd like to add something, sir.
Absolutely, Lois, please. What is
right.
like that?
So in this case, I would agree it's because of the stable resource first, actually. Before, Nadine is not in this team, and also we don't have the interns in everytime. We only have Wayana and also Kyla. So it's very important to keep the SLA from the employee squad, actually, in this case.
Okay, all right.
Yes, to maintain the SLA. And other improvement I would like to do for the conversion team, which is what you have explained just now, it's understanding the performance of the property. So I would like to invite BD also to review the performance of the property
Yes.
they already bring in. So like uh, we now after achieving the counts concern to the quality, something like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, this is very good. This is an upgraded type of discussion. And over to Ara. So I think yes, that is very important. Perhaps from the employee squad, we can start also thinking about this. What are ways that we can guarantee that minimum headcount, right? So that a particular squad is stable and position people defensively, right? So that we don't have depletion of people moving between different squads, unless okay, so let's defend for that. Let's be a little bit more strong, okay, in that particular plan. And is there a reason why Vidi isn't here, Lilith? Actually, I don't see him in the discussion today.
Today I haven't really met BD from this morning.
Okay, then I'm gonna send it over to Bayou for taking care of that. Bayou, I do see that there's some interesting figures here. Okay, so it looks like, and I think I had a sub discussion with Lilith on Slack about this. Right, it looks like the newer properties are making more than some of the older properties. I need this to be examined by you. I need to understand why. Okay, is it because that we've lost ranking on the old properties and it's not possible to bring them up? Is it because our new properties are more desirable than the old properties? Is it because we have a better policy arrangement and we have a full availability and not like, these problems with availability? So I see the fact, but I need the analysis on that. Bayou, do you think you can lead the BI team to figure out what that is so that we can optimize our property management sort of strategy?
Yeah, this is would be inspection for awareness, basically, to bring more property that have this higher average value and
Okay.
less property that lower average value. So, yeah, we will do
But
that.
I need to also understand what the core reason is by you, right? If the core reason is just the property appeal, like you mentioned, if it's just that the property is more appealing to our guests, then that's a fine strategy. But if the reason is because our older properties have lost ranking or our older properties have availability issue, then it takes on a different approach, right?
Yeah, that belongs to the guest squad. If
I would
we
think
cannot
that belongs.
maintain old property,
Okay. I
yeah,
need
depending on the availability or the listing that's not optimized, we will bring that to the guest squad.
Okay, understand, but I need the chapter in BI to analyze that. That's what I mean, right? Because right now, without a correct analysis, taking the action of, let's say, acquiring more properties, like it could be this. What if, like, say, for example, right, we have excellent property that hasn't been managed well, but its average revenue now is lower, right? So then we say, all right, let's go collect more of this property that's averaging higher because it's actually just an issue of availability. So then that would not be necessarily the correct pathway to take. We need an analysis to understand what is the core reason that we're seeing these particular results. Okay, Lilith, Bayou, please work together, and by the next meeting, let's understand that. So then that feedback can be given to awareness, and awareness can confidently go about their business and know that they are looking for the right types of properties. Okay, good. Newly acquired. Okay, very good. I'm happy to see that that our new properties are well looked after. I'm sure the new owners will be very happy to see that. But we also need to remember something, everyone. We need to remember that in a rising market, new properties tend to do very well. This goes back, I think, to a long time ago. We call this launch weather. That if you launch a property during a bad time, okay, but you remember this when we had the content chapter, right? If you launch a property during a bad time, no matter what, it sticks in a bad cycle. But if you launch a property during a rising market, then it achieves ranking really quick and it starts doing real well really quick. Okay. If that is the core reason for seeing what we're seeing, then perhaps we need to have a different approach to how we position and launch each property. Okay. If you understood that, give me a thumbs up. And that's the basic thing that I'm suggesting here, that we really get that understood. Okay. All right. Let's continue then. Let's go to the next section. So transformation. Who will talk? Is it Tendi? Okay, Tendi, tell us what happened in transformation.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So, the first is for the transfer, the not alignment to transactional. we have a progress we got a booking for the Tarasona.
Mhm.
Compared to last week, it's performed, but still two more property since launching haven't got the booking yet.
Okay.
And then the next one, it's achieved.
Stop there, attendee. So this one is not achieved and it's not in progress because of this is the third week of March and we are only 30% of that SLA. So
Yeah.
unless something really incredible happens, we probably will not achieve this SLA, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Understood. Let's go on to the next one.
Okay, so for the next one is already achieved, and then got one more GMB for the Lebak
Yeah.
guest house,
Yeah.
and then for the partner referral, the
Yeah.
next one, we got one more from last week from Namaskara
Okay.
after we conduct the one-on-one session. So it's overachieved.
Okay.
I had discussed with Lilis as well. So for the community referral, we still refine the campaign first to
Understood.
make it stable first. Then we will upgrade the SLA like that.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
then for the action point, I think that's the one-on-one session. It's pretty effective, so we will conduct more the one-on-one session by scheduling more with partner like this.
I think that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Let's go and understand your first SLA first. Okay. What is it that you need in order to start achieving that SLA attendee to get more partners from no alignment to transactional alignment?
Yeah, I think mostly is booking, sir. So need from
Okay.
the marketing BI and conversion guest, the reservation team, to actively offer the property that haven't get booking to the guests like that.
Okay. This is where I'm confused because apparently we're doing well on conversion. Oh, okay. Conversion bringing people in. Okay, but not enough bookings to. Are these new partners or are these just any partner? These
A new
are
partner,
that
new
I'm
partner,
confused
sir.
now. Now I'm confused because just earlier I saw that new partners are doing really well in terms of bookings, and now over here I see that it's not doing very well. So this needs a further inspection. Tendi, why don't we go and bring you over to BI and inspect and try to diagnose this? Okay, I need to
Yeah.
understand the authenticity of this data. Is the previous chapter wrong, or is this data wrong, or what exactly is the truth? Right, because it doesn't
Yep.
make sense that we're getting
I might
conflict. Over to Lil.
give some short explanation. Actually, the data that Mas Bayu show, it's about the ratio between revenue compared to the apa namanya pembagi
Right.
eliminator.
Okay.
Yeah, so a new property is far less than old property, while they actually some of them is actually performing well. That's why the
Okay.
ratio is higher. So
Okay.
that's my first hypothesis. But yes, of course, I think as you said just now, I will investigate further about that.
Okay. Very
Is that
good.
my first choice?
Okay. Let's go ahead and try that out. Thank you, Lilith, for that bit of information. Tendi, also, I need to ask you this. How many weeks has that first SLA not been achieved? Is it 1, 2, or 3?
Uh, 3, sir.
3. Okay. So this is a problem. Have the previous 2 plans worked so far?
Previously, it's work with the NPO, but
Okay.
the some of the property still doesn't get any booking.
All right. This is what I want you to do now. So let's go bring you over to team management first to talk to Alhara. Okay. Tell her what's happening. Tell her what are the people working on this, and let's examine what's going on the first SLA. Okay. Because BI will be discussing with awareness anyways, right? After you finish talking with Alhara and she determines it's not a team management issue, then go back over to BI to get a plan. Okay, for what you need to do on getting that first SLA to work. Okay, and also understanding if that's a sign that maybe some other SLAs are correctly reported or not. Okay. Okay. Great.
Sir.
Excellent. Question: if you believe the one-on-ones are working, is that part of a guideline yet and been made into a tool yet?
Yes, already, sir.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's good. Excellent. Okay. Let's continue that. Advocacy. I guess that's Tendi, you again.
It's audition.
Oh, Addison. All right. Addison. Yes, I remember. Come on forward, Addison. Tell us your news.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So the first one is like on March from the advocacy is GMB review is upgraded. It's actually increased one this week from Graphic, so it's achieved. And then the next one, partner referral, we got 5 potential partners.
Okay.
but it's still on progress to sign some documents and stuff. And
Okay.
then the third SLA is one out of two partner story is posted already on 19 March. It's a Sri Village story, and there's a link below there,
Okay.
which the story. And then the next plan we have actually like hired writer already from Kagani, so
Okay.
we
Good.
could use like some works for writing another story.
Okay.
So we have this like this huge plan. So we actually this is need to be discussed from awareness team. So we
Okay.
need to like we want to initiate posting on Instagram, starting on Instagram story to post like recognition to person. So it goes like this. We post like testimonial or something,
All right.
and then we post Instagram and we tag the property owners or the owner itself to get like to give them like a recognition for what they've refer, like
Okay.
maybe
Understood.
partner refer or GMB reviews or something. So,
Okay. And give recognition this month for SLA lead. Yes, I think
yeah,
that's
we
a
have
good
it.
idea. Okay. So that's a way to maintain your advocates, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I see here, everyone. So the partner story seems like the most manageable issue, right? So it seems like we can control how many stories that we get, how many stories that we produce, right? So okay, now that we have a writer, I think that that means we should have enough headcount and resource on the team management side in order to be able to achieve that SLA. That part is okay. The other part I need to question, I think Lewis already put that down, is Instagram the leading way that partners get news about property management, right? Don't they use emails more? Don't they use Google Ads or, WhatsApp maybe? So is this the correct channel for actually sharing stories so that somebody might be influenced to become a partner? Okay. That one I am highly skeptical about because I think most property owners probably don't use Instagram as often as people who are a bit younger. Okay. So that might need to have a little bit of examination here. And in this particular case, Audison, I think this is probably the best way to do it. Instead of breaking out into BI, why don't you have a sub discussion with Gani? Okay. Because Gani is an expert on the awareness and he probably knows what is the best channel to distribute your story so that owners can read it or potential owners can read it. Okay, so after Gani finishes with his sub discussion, engage him in a discussion and specifically get the story part right and also the distribution there. Okay. Lilith, do you have any insight from BI's perspective about the correct distribution for advocacy?
Yes, actually, that's my questions. Like,
Okay.
we do have partner story, but I haven't really make sure. Actually, that's why I need to clarify to Gara and also Addison. Have
Yeah.
we used or utilized that story? Because the story
Right.
is actually it's an activity, right?
Right.
But I think it from advocacy chapter that we decide it's to be like a KPI of our
Yes.
activity. But
Mhm.
again, it needs to be utilized more to have more
I agree.
impact.
I
Perhaps,
agree.
correct? Use it for SEO and etc.
I agree.
Basically, what is one.
Okay.
Second is about referral. Actually,
Mhm.
referrals come from Rafik
Okay.
usually, and also from one-on-one session that is actually right now proven to give outputs.
Uh-huh.
But we haven't really identified how Rafik done the engagement so he can get the referral. So I need Addison help in this case
Okay.
to formulate that with traffic. So that's
Okay.
my two requests.
Here's how I want to split this then. Addison, maybe you can break out into tools later, okay? And set up a plan for how to understand Rafik's approach that he's been using to get his thing. Okay, so we need to get Rafik's story first, and after it, we can probably put into a guideline. Actually, you don't need to go to tools to actually have that discussion. Never mind. Just go to the BI discussion. Actually, go to the inspection from BI. Talk to Gani about the awareness. Talk to Lilith about how to get Rafik's story. Talk to Rafik about how to get his story. And this, as the advocacy chapter lead right now, this is what I see. I see that you're identifying advocates. Okay, I see that you're getting the story, but the missing part could be where you are distributing, and that part might not be optimized yet. As a suggestion, the best type of distribution is not even through our own channels. it's through a partner, right? It could be a community expert write something about the partner, or it could be some co-branding opportunity. It's better if a third party actually shares the story, not Bukit Vista itself. Okay, so that could be an improvement on this particular channel. That's pretty much it. Okay, that is it. Oh, by the way, if you agree with this delegation, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, I forgot.
Actually,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Lower.
I'm not really like I'm not really clear on who should go to who. So I'm as the one who serve will only wait. Like there's so many things that I heard just now. So
Okay.
is that a
Yeah, here
good
it is. Here it
flow?
is. So let's make this actually more efficient then. Gunny is going to inspection to get his achievements understood. Nadine is going to R to discuss resource management and then going to inspection. And then Tendi is going to inspection to see if his KPIs are correct and transactional, why his SLAs are not being achieved. And Addison is going to have a sub discussion with Gunny. So it seems like everybody's going into inspection. Let's do this then. Let's split the inspection into two groups so that way we don't have lines. Okay. Who can do inspection? By you, are you able to do inspection for some of these? And then Lilith, can you do inspection for some of the other SLAs?
Bayu is not here.
Oh, well, he's gone. Okay. All right. Then in this particular case, let's go ahead and do this. Yes, Nadine, did you have a suggestion?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this. If you are not the PIC anymore, you guys can go back to work. Okay. Oh, Bella, Lilith, is Bella able to inspect any of these, or would you
I
prefer?
think it's more into the no alignment to transactional alignment. So go to team management first, and then after we get the conclusion whether it is team management or not, so going back to inspection.
Okay,
And
here.
first perhaps we'll take sure, sir.
Okay, I'll create two inspection groups. Okay, Nadia is okay. There's no tool discussions today, so Nadia will not be hosting a sub discussion. I'll have one inspection by Bella, one inspection by Lilith. Okay, Tendi, you can go into the inspection with Bella, and Gunny can go into the inspection with Lilith, and Nadine can go into the team management discussion with Ara. And is that it? Yeah, I think that's the breakout. Okay. And Addison, okay, Addison, you know which group you need to go to, right? Okay, that's it. I'm going to start the breakout session, and and we'll go into it. So breakouts have begun, and let's do it.
Oh yeah. For everyone that going to the breakout room, please after that report back to me. What is
Yes.
your next plan?
Thank you, Nadine, for catching the follow-up. Excellent. This is why I feel so happy I delegated that to you. Yes, don't forget, after you have a plan, please report back to the secretary, and she'll take a look at your results, okay? And we'll remember next week. Okay, let's do the breakout. All right.
Yeah.
So where should I go, by the way?
Okay.
You haven't told me actually.
Okay, Addison, you need to go to inspection BI Lilith, okay?
Okay, sure. Thank you, Sarah.
All right.
Ya, kita run
Bab yang ditanjakan mau ke arah ke pantai. So I fell at that part. Tapi motor the bike I throw and then I'm like nah udah
Standing.
terus nunggu orang bantuin aku ngangkat So
What happened? Did you have a motorbike
I fell
accident?
from the bike once because but it's small damage. So I fell because the bike couldn't go up, and then I tried to, and then it go back, right, and the bike is heavy, so I just like throw the bike and then I wait for people to help me.
Like a boss.
Yeah, and literally there are some guys there and like helping. So
I like how Ara plans on people to come to help her. She like calculates that's gonna happen. Most other people
because
would
because it's heavy and I can't do that, right? So I need help without asking for help. So people know that okay, something is not right with this woman. So people stop and help.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll let you guys have your discussion. Yeah, go ahead.
Ya, gimana Nadine?
Okay, there are some issue Kak Ara on the team management that I need your help first from the HR view sih sebetulnya. First is the urgency of my availability nih. For the property manager in Jogja and CM, Kak Ara kan since Asa resigning kan, I'm covering her work. I totally enjoy sebenarnya. I enjoy doing the work sebetulnya. Sumpah, aku suka banget sebetulnya. But cuman kan my availability nih, aku kan pertengahan April I need to go back to Jakarta, right? Udah puasa and Lebaran and so on. I mean, I need HR kalau misalnya mau hire ya mungkin itu dia prioritasin Kak, yang property manager dan CM karena we have mostly the full board package property itu di Jogja. And it's gonna be more and more because we're focusing in Jogja for apa?
Itu di area-area yang Lovina tuh di Singaraja kan? Singaraja.
Ya.
Kemudian Cloud Glamping itu ada di Kintamani, Green Paddy itu ada di Ubud. Oke, kita simpan dulu. Berarti sisanya ngekontak via WhatsApp. Di mana dapat WhatsApp-nya? Dari ads ada WhatsApp?
Ya, aku sempat pasang itu extension untuk call gitu sih Kak, untuk ads-nya.
Extension for call. Okay, then furthermore, Kayla, dia kontaknya by call or by WhatsApp message?
Oke, kalau itu dari WhatsApp message. Kalau nggak salah, in website ada nomor rekan aja.
I see. Okay then, first let's define the guest journey from Google Ads dulu because we need to understand whether Google Ads ada impact apa enggak gitu kan. So first adalah there's a post siapa? Garrett, please explain the the journey of how people can reach us through Google Ads.
Okay, so the Google
dan gitu keep offering keep offering like Tarasona gitu on the reservation gitu. For example, or we have this kind of property that still haven't get booking. So I think as our team can.
Dia aku tahu mana yang done gitu.
Okay.
Then if that's it, please report to the secretary ya berarti about the result.
Nih.
Nadine is the secretary.
Yeah.
Tapi I will talk to Vera by today. Terus ya we'll prioritize that better deh for community.
Yeah, I mean soalnya if you guys hire the new CM and property manager in Jogja pun I will need the time to train them, right?
Yeah.
Aku harus train. I need to train. Karena kalau enggak it will be me.
Kalau in timing wise quite impossible Nadine. Katakan dia bakalan
Okay, at least sampai Lebaran deh. Because Idul Fitri I need to go back to Jakarta.
Iya. Dan sebulan kan. Ya, okay. Bisa kalau sebulan. Karena katakan kita punya kandidat pun onboard Senin besok, onboarding trial seminggu. Terus kalau pertengahan nggak mungkin kan? So,
yes, sir.
If I may, let's be careful, Nadine, about those kind of expectations too as well. Okay, and the reason I say it is because that's exactly how we got into the mess with the reservation team that we have. Right, we needed it really urgently, so we hired them, and now it's just like it's like I'm tearing my hair out, right? I feel
Yep.
like I have to be this really mean, nasty person in order to get them to actually do. We shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to actually come to that level. But if we don't, then we keep on seeing these rookie mistakes over and over. So um, a better approach might be this, right? Is there a way that you could apply training online, or could you record video tutorials or anything like that, right? So that, let's say, as if you were there. I know there are some things that are probably just going to be better if you're done in person, okay? And those we might be able to arrange. Maybe we can fly that person over, right, to stay in Jakarta and train with you there. Okay, that could be an option. But to rush a hire, especially, it could just be chasing more bad money after good money. Okay, so we've seen that happen to reservations. That's just my experience in
Yep.
leading.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah. All right, that's actually good. I actually appreciate that you don't give the wrong expectations to Nadine as well. Because hiring, let's just remember, hiring is a very expensive process. It is usually much longer than we think it is. We don't get the candidate that we think we would have gotten. So it is much more control within our own control to improve the tools, or somehow improve the inspection and find, there's this particular thing that would actually solve the problem, right? Using a less human.
Yeah.
Candies.
So yeah, in that sense, Nadine, I would prefer you to maybe do the things that can be done without the person. Maksudnya gini, if let's say worst case we cannot hire by the end of the April, right? What are the sequence you'd like to hand over to whom exactly? What can be done automatically? Hal-hal kayak gitu yang I think can be structured by now. So we have plan A and plan B in that sense, you know.
I have a great beginning, and this oh my god, this is perfect. Listen up, but this is perfect that I'm meeting with both of you too as well. Just a moment ago, we were talking about this in the copywriting and branding discussion, that there was no good applicants for community management. And the reason was because the current advertisements and posts are just talking about, these are the benefits of the job, these are the responsibilities, okay? Then I suggested to Charisma, who's working on this, that, and everyone else did too, that she needs to improve the storytelling in her particular case, okay? And this is where I suggested your video of the 73 questions that you guys did for the HAR role, okay? Now, I asked them, why don't you go ahead and do another one for community management? And that is one thing, Nadine, that you can do, right? You can record that video, then that gives your questions about community management with Gani, okay? And put that up, and then that becomes a perfect way to set expectations for what a future community manager will do. And it will have lasting impact, right? Because it will just go out there. By the way, you guys have almost gotten 1,000 views on your first video for your question, right? One of the most popular videos. So I think that can also be a good vehicle for, exactly like I said, right? Try to invent the tool that then carries that particular idea of who you need. And it'll last forever, right? So you'll never have to stress out about it, because it will probably pull in a steady supply of quality candidates that can actually do the job. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So I think I probably will talk with
Chris.
Bila and Gani and Charisma,
Yes, I can do it,
for
Gani.
this project.
Yeah, and it can be you again, starring as a community manager, right, in the Jogja base. And you can share all the different tools you use. This is my Trello board. This is how I see the community is doing. This is how I monitor, revenues and whatnot. This is me calling a partner and put that in too as well. And it can be really engaging. It can be like you have on video a partner already that you're doing a one-on-one with, and add that in.
Yeah, I will collaborate with the owner. I have the one owner that really fun to do that, I think.
Chris, right?
Yep. Okay.
All right, great. Yep. Good stuff then. All right, Ara. That's it. I'll have a sub discussion with Ara then, Nadine, right? And I'll have a sub discussion with Ara about some team management issues. But you're free to. You're supposed to go back over to the inspection now, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Okay, Ara. That looks good. It looks like there's less adoption issues. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes. Way less.
Okay.
So,
So I guess what is the core reason for that, you think?
uh, I haven't really put a specific analysis, but for me in general, keep everyone and everything accountable.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
shares his fault, so
Yeah.
that people also aware that okay, so this is adoption. I wouldn't make the same mistakes and so on. So yeah,
Yep.
it's so far what I see.
I'm reading this book right now. It's very helpful. 101 tough conversations to have with employees, right? It can be actually, this guy is pretty good. Paul Falcone. I got this from the library, actually. He writes a lot of HR related situations. So it's very practical, it's very situational. If you can get yourself a copy, either online or not, I would encourage you to take a look at it. I think you're already a master of probably 60 of these conversations, right? But there are like different cases of how to approach. One of the principal tenets he talks about is the speed of feedback. So if the feedback cycle is very long, then the behavior continues. But if the feedback cycle is very short, then the behavior stops. So ideally, you would want an adoption issue to be identified in a second and then addressed at that particular moment, not wait a week and then see, whatever, and then tell them and then wait another week for that particular thing. So what I see that's happening over the few weeks is that we're shortening and shortening that cycle for adoption feedback to be delivered specifically to the right person and in a shorter and shorter amount of time. So that could be the strategy for amplifying your powers, okay, of adoption. How do you get the detection that it's an adoption issue as quickly as possible, which you're doing right now using Coda, and then how do you then address that before it gets out of hand, right?
That's basically what I do. And again, this is the same method that I use in every other layers. For
Yep.
example, the part where I told you I force people in the beginning. So to create a culture, because if I said like, hey, if you have problem, tell me. Yeah, if you have problem, no one will ever report anything,
I
right?
never do.
But
Yeah.
if I put like structured and then it's mandatory and then it's discussed and form a team, I think that's will be more serious and people feel like obligated to actually
Yes,
report,
that's
So
right.
that's how
And
I
that is
treat
another good thing that we fix. We cannot trust that people will report or even know what their own problems are. So it needs to be kind of, like you said, forced. I'll have a sub discussion with you later about the conversion team. I need to dole out punishment because at this point, what I'm seeing is I keep on telling people, please don't do that. There's a low quality mistake, and they do it again, and they do it again, and they do it again, and they don't report it either. So that tells me that if we don't punish, then nothing will be fixed, right? But I'm pretty certain not all of them will accept the punishment as positive transformation. Some of them probably just be like, Jing's being mean to me. Or we need to have better work law, whatever habits, and some sort of legal thing again. So we just need, I think, replacements for the current team. And then also one last thing about this could be an inspection issue. I do get conflicting reports about like the three people I told you about, right? And so I'm not sure what to believe, right? Mutia, Rafik, Nadine, they all get conflicting reports. Some people say they're doing really well. Some people say they're not doing so good. So I'm like, okay, that
Is
makes
it
it
like one people against one people or like groups people against groups people?
okay. Well, Mutia has this, right? Mutia, I see that from time to time she will get compliments from her team about how she's doing a good job, right? But then I'll see from a different perspective, from maybe reservations or Nadine's perspective, how she isn't doing such a good job. Okay.
Hmm.
That could be just maybe her skill. Overall, Mutia is not that creative. She's not coming up with, let's say, brilliant new ways to delight guests. At best, she can just kind of continue a pathway that is already there, which makes it challenging. Okay, so that's Mutia's case. And Nadine is like the emotional thing. It's kind of like you have your opinion, but I see kind of different things between her
It's
crew.
just you and me, right? In terms of Nadine.
And Kyla is supportive of Nadine, and I don't know what Wyana says. She tends to be a little bit both. She told me about that one time
Yeah,
that kind of
Wayana have the same pitch at some point.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. In that sense, the proposed solution that I can give, sir, keep it
All
again
right,
accountable. Keep
right,
it also objective. For
right,
example, in multi cases, like she got all the support of the HR team set, right? But you
yep,
have doubts. I have doubts. In that
right,
sense, you udah make it clear. Make ask for the evidences, the part that where exactly we have doubts.
Right.
show us if you or you can ask your team to help you to show us what exactly if your proof of work that can tell that okay Ara you're wrong, okay Jing you're wrong. That also goes the same way with Nadine, right? I said to
Right.
you like I might be also wrong, maybe she's getting better, right? But in
Right.
that sense, in that case, you need to provide more details to see to show what exactly you think this person is getting better or this person have a misjudge and so on.
Okay.
So
Here's my next question. Does that work, or is that back into the kind of mistake that we expected before? We expect people to be able to self-inspect and self thing, or do they need more
exactly.
guidance? Yeah.
That's also part of my concern, right? Be
Right.
careful on who you listen to. For
Right.
example, like you ask, is Muti doing great? Of course, Irma will say that great. Of course, Dimas will say great, right?
Mhm.
But are they even have the capacity to actually say
Understand.
so, right? In that sense, yeah, you need to filter who exactly give positive feedback and negative feedback. Are they actually a person that have a sharp instinct and intuitions to understand, to assess people, and then you
Mm.
compare between the positive and negative feedback what they actually.
This is why I remember Muti specifically on the All Hands had this, right? She thanked Nadine, I think, for guiding her, and then she was in turn thanked by Dimas for guiding him. So I thought that was actually a pretty virtuous cycle, right? That she's kind of like giving, but she's also receiving in sort of
Yeah,
equal. So I was like, oh, that seems like a person who is actually core value fit, but
yeah.
I just don't know, right? The whole picture. So okay, all right. Um, Here, I'm going to need a policy for punishment because I'm just not going to deal with. There's no point in doing chapter discussions and okay, here's the thing that we talked about on day 1 again, and day 20, and day 40, and day 60. We talked about this
Yeah.
4 times. I need to be able to say, okay, this is what happens. Is suspension a normal thing in Indonesia?
Suspension.
Yeah, like you're suspended from work. You don't need to come into work for today. You essentially
Yeah.
get an
Oh,
unpaid day
wait.
off.
In school, yeah, but in work,
Not so much, right?
so much. Yeah, the tension is not so much.
Okay. I think suspension might be fair, right? If you can't do the work, you know what? We're not going to give you the opportunity to do the work. Okay. And that makes them feel like, oh, I don't get to play anymore. I have to sit here and think about what I did. It's a common punishment here in the US, even starting from
Yeah,
children.
I heard.
Like you see that, like, somebody doesn't do it. So you put them in the corner of the room and they sit there. It's like jail time, basically, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And then they
common.
appreciate freedom. They
Yeah,
appreciate the work.
in here not as much, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah. But
Okay.
I think your structure so far is good, I guess. Like,
Yeah. 3
minus
warnings.
one. But I don't know if like 3 days is enough. Like, should be maybe like a
A
week
week?
or
Okay. All right. Yeah.
like 3 days in a week. Like if it's only 2 days, 3 days, that's
I
not gonna
figure if
make.
we suspend somebody for a week, they probably will start looking for a new job.
Mm,
And a week is pretty harsh too. A week to think about what you did wrong. If you can't learn in 3 days, Ara, you're not going to learn in a week. Am I right? You can't.
right.
You shouldn't even
Okay.
have. You shouldn't. It's more of the threat than the actual punishment itself, Ara. Oftentimes, it's just that, hey, look, I'm not going to play nice anymore, and that shifts the tone. Okay. Anyway, I'll have a sub discussion with you on that one. All right. But
Yeah, okay.
this is good. It seems like we're progressing. I see the numbers go up. I see there's fewer lower quality issues, and now more people are kind of just like, how do I do things better, right? And
Yeah.
that's a good sign.
Okay.
Okay.
Then, sir. I'll see you
All
on
right.
the next meeting. Yeah.
I'll see you at the
Bye.
next
Thank
one.
you.
All right. Bye bye.